This is Kayla Shear, ready to belt out some monster heads for Lady Raiders softball on the King James Radio Network.
And it is a pleasant Saturday afternoon to one and all. We welcome you to the first ever Autism Awareness Softball Challenge here at North Brunswick Community Park in North Brunswick, New Jersey, as the North Brunswick Lady Raiders face the Woodbridge Lady Barrons. Lauren Duffy is in the circle for North Brunswick, as Kylie Gauthier is your leadoff hitter. Duffy makes her first pitch. Gauthier bunts, and it's picked up by catcher Adriana Barnes outside of the first base line. It's a foul ball. No balls and a strike. And again, this is the first ever Autism Awareness Softball Challenge, with the Autism Awareness Baseball Challenge being now in its 12th year, a spin-off of that. So Kylie Gauthier, right-handed batter, here against Lauren Duffy. This one is popped up behind the plate. That'll come back to the section back here behind us. And so no balls and 2 strikes on Kylie Gauthier, who is a senior, 3 for 16 on the year with an RBI, has 1 walk. Again, Gauthier, a right-handed batter. So Lauren Duffy in the circle for the Lady Raiders, and her next pitch, fastball, just missed inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Starting lineup for Woodbridge goes like this. Kylie Gauthier, she is the catcher leading off. Miranda Carroll is batting second. We'll get to the rest here in just a moment, as Duffy will wind, and her next pitch, pop foul into the backstop. So still 1-2 on Gauthier. The Carroll is at second base batting second. Amelia Kraft is the first baseman hitting third. Emily Kolaric is at short batting fourth. Emily Christie is the pitcher hitting fifth. Madison Kushba at third hitting sixth for Woodbridge, as Lauren Duffy with her next pitch popped up. Foul ground left side. Sydney Hobson over near the fence makes the catch for the first out of the game. So 1 out. Just to finish up, Casey Morrison is the right fielder batting 7th. Caitlin McCarthy is the designated player for Woodbridge batting 8th. And Elena Montalvo is in left field batting 9th. Amaya Lewis is the flex player. She will be in center field. Lauren Duffy's first pitch misses low and inside to Miranda Carroll for ball 1. Miranda Carroll is a senior. 1 homer, 3 runs driven in, hitting at .538, 7 for 13 on the year. Woodbridge with some tough hitters here in the middle of the lineup. Your next pitch, fastball inside, 2 balls and no strikes. I asked Lauren Duffy, I talked to her a little bit before the game today. We had a long wait, as game time is basically an hour past what was originally supposed to be, and that was even moved back. As Duffy with her 2-0, swinging a fly ball out to center field. Anaya Isaac in front of the fence makes the catch, 2 out. Defensive alignment for the Lady Raiders. Mia Santiago is at first base. Allison Ward is the second baseman. Tara Jennings at short. Sydney Hobson at third. Cassidy Speed is in left. Anaya Isaac in center. Veronica Giraldo gets the start in right. Adriana Barnes behind the plate. And Lauren Duffy is in the circle. But I was talking to Duffy a little bit before the game. And I asked her, do you have any strategy for today? She said, just to stay out of my own head. And I'll tell you what that means in a minute. As Duffy's pitch. Fastball misses inside to Amelia Kraft for ball 1. Kraft is a freshman, 12 for 21. That's a .571 batting average. 1 homer, 7 runs driven in. And your next pitch. Fastball misses outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes on Kraft. But yeah, I asked Lauren Duffy, do you have any strategy? And she said, I just want to stay out of my own head. And what that means is whenever she makes a bad pitch, she just has to forget about it and move on to the next one. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Count it 2-1. So Duffy's just trying to stay, from pitch to pitch, not get too high, not get too low. We'll give you Duffy's numbers here in a moment. 2 balls and a strike on Amelia Kraft. No score, top of the first. As Duffy winds with her next pitch, misses high, ball 3. And so there's an example of, where you made a pitch, that you'd like to have back, and now Duffy has to shake that off and get to the next one. 3 balls and a strike on Kraft. Duffy is 1-1. 0 ERA so far, is not allowed an earned run. And our next pitch, swing and a miss. Count at 3-2 now on Kraft. So Duffy's 1-0, 4 innings pitched, 2 hits, no walks, and 8 strikeouts against Perth Amboy on Wednesday to get the win in 5 innings for the Lady Raiders. They beat Perth Amboy 13-0. So 3-2 on Kraft. And Duffy with her 3-2 is in there, called strike 3, side retired. First strikeout for Lauren Duffy. And Woodbridge goes in order in the top of the first. Nothing across for the Lady Barrons. So half an inning here at Community Park. And it's Woodbridge nothing and North Brunswick coming to bat. This is Lady Raider Softball on the King James Radio Network.
Listen to the King James Radio Network by downloading the Spreaker app to your phone or tablet. Spreaker is spelled S-P-R-E-A-K-E-R. You can find it in the App Store on your iPhone or on Google Play for Android users.
We come back now to the bottom of the first inning. No score, North Brunswick and Woodbridge. Let's get to our game time temperature. Our game time temperature is presented by the Weather Channel. And right now, it is sunny skies and 78 degrees at game time. It's even more sunny with North Brunswick Athletic Director Sean Morrell sitting to my right. So, bottom of the first, Emily Christie is in the circle for Woodbridge. Emily is 5-1 with a 1.75 ERA. 28 innings pitched, 22 hits, 4 walks allowed in those 28 innings and 43 strikeouts. However, as I say, she only has 4 walks. Our first pitch misses in the dirt to Tara Jennings for ball 1. Jennings is a senior playing shortstop today for the Lady Raiders. Tara hitting at .500, 6 for 12 on the year with an RBI. Right-handed batter. And Christie with her pitch. A swing and a pop-up. Second base. Over to get it is Miranda Carroll for the first out. Defensive alignment for Woodbridge. Amelia Kraft is at first base. Miranda Carroll is the second baseman. Emily Kolaric is at short. Madison Kushba is at third. Elena Montalvo in left. Amaya Lewis in center. Casey Morrison is in right. Kylie Gauthier behind the plate is Allison Ward. Slaps one foul. Off to the left, no balls and a strike. Ward batting left-handed. Ward is a senior hitting at .250, 4 for 16 with 5 RBIs on the year. Leads the Lady Raiders in stolen bases with 2. And your next pitch, Ward lays off and it's a ball. Up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. 200 feet all around from left to left, center, and right. Even dimensions here at North Brunswick Community Park. And Christie with her pitch. Then Ward takes. It's at the knees for a called strike. It's 1-2. Of course, Ward had the game-winning RBI in the Lady Raiders extra inning game last week at Carteret. And Christie with the 1-2. Fastball misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Christie with only 4 walks so far for Woodbridge in 28 innings. So that means she's going to be right around the plate, so the Lady Raiders have to be ready to swing the bats. As Christie with her pitch, chopped on the ground, foul outside of third. So still 2-2. This is the Lady Raiders' first game that they have played at North Brunswick Community Park since May 6th, 2014. That day they lost a doubleheader to Perth Amboy. Ugly day. Your next pitch, hit foul to the backstop. So still 2-2 on Ward. The Lady Raiders only won 1 game that year. That one win came against JFK. Now the Lady Raiders have not lost to Perth Amboy since that day. As your next pitch, hit over at third base, but foul down the left field line. Over the head of the third baseman, Madison Kushba. But, you know, for varying reasons, the Lady Raiders have not played here. They built the fields, the softball fields at the high school, so that's probably the biggest reason. And your next pitch, fastball outside, ball 3. 3-2 now on Ward. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the first, and you're 3-2. Hit foul left side. So Ward staying in it at 3-2. This will be the 10th pitch of this at bat from Christie to Ward. Kayla Shear is on deck. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And your next pitch, slapped foul. So we'll do it again. Christie probably will get her pitch count up here just in this at bat alone. Pitch number 11 coming. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Allison Ward. And the 3-2. Slapped foul. So a marathon at bat here for Allison Ward. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And also this gives a chance, of course, for the rest of the hitters to look at Christie and see what's going on with her. Hopefully they're watching. As your next pitch misses high, ball 4, and Ward, with a tremendous plate appearance right there, works out the walk on 12 pitches. First walk issued by Christie, and now the big bats of the Lady Raiders lineup will come in. Kayla Shear. Shear is a senior. She has 78 career hits. She needs 22 to reach 100 for her career. First pitch, fastball at the knees for a called strike. For the season, Shear's at 6 for 17, 353 batting average with a homer and 4 runs driven in. And Christie's pitch, swing and a foul straight back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now, contrary to Allison Ward, Ward fought off a lot of pitches. Shear's not looking to do that. Shear's looking to do some damage to the scoreboard there in center field. No balls and 2 strikes. And Christie with her pitch, misses up high. Throw down to first by Gauthier, and not in time. Ward gets back. 1-2 on Shear. And your next pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. And that is the second out of the inning. First strikeout for Christie. 2 out now. Runner on first. Adriana Barnes will come up. Barnes is a sophomore. 10 RBIs in the first 5 games for the Lady Raiders. Hitting at .389. If I didn't mention it, Tara Jennings is the shortstop leading off. Allison Ward at second, batting second. Kayla Shear is at the DH, hitting third as Barnes swings and misses at a high fastball there from Christie. It's 0-1. Adriana Barnes is the catcher, hitting fourth. Mia Santiago at first, batting fifth. Lauren Duffy is your starting pitcher, batting sixth. Anaya Isaac in center, hitting seventh. Your next pitch from Christie, swing and a miss. High fastball, 0-2. Cassidy Speed is in left field, batting eighth, and Veronica Giraldo is in right field, batting ninth. They're going to have to make Christie get the ball down here. 0-2 on Barnes. Your pitch. Fastball just missed outside. Count at 1-2. So the Lady Raiders are, not too successful up, at borderline. Your next pitch. This one hit foul right field line. It's going to go out of play. Still 1-2 on Barnes. So a ball and 2 strikes on Adriana Barnes. Next pitch, swing, and this is a fly ball, right field, and down the line goes foul. So still 1-2 on Barnes. Emily Christie has already thrown 21 pitches in this inning, 12 to Allison Ward. The next pitch, fastball low, runner goes, Ward on the move, throw down to second, tag, and she's out. Kolaric put on the tag, and so Ward caught stealing 2-6. And that'll do it for the Lady Raiders in the top of the first. So for North Brunswick, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. End of 1, Woodbridge nothing, North Brunswick nothing. And we'll break and come back with the second inning in just a moment. You're listening to Lady Raiders Softball. It's the Autism Awareness Softball Challenge on the King James Radio Network.
This is Tara Jennings. When I'm in the circle, you can listen to every pitch on the King James Radio Network at jamesisking.com.
Of course, Tara is at shortstop today, as Lauren Duffy in the circle for the Lady Raiders back out for inning number 2. No score between North Brunswick and Woodbridge here in the first ever Autism Awareness Softball Challenge. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order here for Woodbridge. Emily Kolaric, Emily Christie, and Madison Kushba are due up. We'll start with Kolaric, shortstop for Woodbridge, who just put the tag on Allison Ward there for the final out of the first inning. Kolaric is a senior, 10 for 20 on the year, so that's a .500 average. 1 homer and a team-leading 10 runs batted in. Woodbridge has 6 seniors. As Duffy winds on her pitch. Fastball low, ball 1. Lady Raiders in their light blue jerseys for Autism Awareness, with the blue pants and the blue stirrups. Lady Raiders were going old school with the stirrups. Your pitch. This is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Woodbridge, a little more modern day. They have the black pants with the red stripes and the high black socks. And your next pitch. That one misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Yeah, Woodbridge wearing the navy blue jerseys with the Autism Awareness logo on it. So Duffy with the face guard on. And her 3-0. Taking all the way is Kolaric. It's at the knees for a called strike, and it's 3-1. Outfield shaded a little bit towards right, and Isaac and a little bit to right center. And your next pitch, fouled back to the backstop. And a count at 3-2 on Kolaric. So 3-2. Yeah, maybe we'll have Sean Morrell come on for a little bit just to talk about how this all came together. The Autism Awareness Softball Challenge. As Duffy with the 3-2. Fastball just missed outside, ball 4. So Kolaric walks. First walk for Duffy. After. And that'll bring up Emily Christie. See, Coach Morrell's ready to go. Christie is a sophomore at 3:08. First pitch is a ball here and no throw down. So 1-0 on Christie, hitting at 3:08 with 2 RBIs. She has 3 stolen bases. So Kolaric at first. And squaring the bunt as Christie misses it for strike 1. 1 ball and a strike. Lady Raiders, of course, will look for 2 here. As Duffy with their next pitch. Swing and a foul straight back. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Christie. We mentioned Duffy getting the win against Perth Amboy for her first win of the season. And so, obviously, Mary Rossi saw enough from that performance. No walks, 8 strikeouts. Saw enough from that performance to put Duffy in the circle today. As Lauren with her next pitch. Popped foul heading towards the road out here at Community Park. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Back in the day when the Lady Raiders, again, they haven't played here in 5 years, but when they did play here, they actually had a dog named Shelby that would go out and retrieve all the foul balls and bring them back. It is quite a sight to behold. 1-2. Swing and a foul off to the left. Kolaric out in front. I'm sorry, Christie out in front. Kolaric's on first. Christie out in front. Still 1-2. And so the dog would run right where that lady is running right now, way out in yonder by the trees, and go retrieve a foul ball, bring it back. Now they'd have to wipe the ball off before they throw it back in. But it was something, boy. Because you see now, bat retrieving dogs and different things. So that was the novelty here when the Lady Raiders played here at Community Park. Adriana Barnes went out briefly to talk to Duffy. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think they might try to throw a changeup here, try to get Kolaric out in front here if they can. As Duffy, 1-2. Nope, misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Typically, when someone pulls a ball that much, your next pitch is going to be a little more off speed to try to fool the hitter. As Duffy will wind in the 2-2. Swing and a foul off to the left. So still 2-2. And again, Kolaric out in front. So again, that kind of gives you the idea. Maybe you change it up here. You slow it down. 2-2 on Christie. And your pitch misses high, ball 3. And now 3-2. So this will be pitch number 8 from Duffy to Christie. Kolaric on first. And Duffy with the 3-2 is on the outside corner, strike 3 call. And that is the first out. Second strikeout for Duffy. I hope there was nothing in there. Okay, 1 out for 2 reasons. Number 1, it landed right on my extension cord. And number 2, I didn't want you to, blow your money on Dunkin' Donuts and not have anything to show for it. 1 out. Here's Madison Kushba. First pitch from Duffy. Fastball on the inside corner for strike 1. Kushba is a sophomore hitting at 235, 4 for 17. So Kolarek still on first with 1 out. And Duffy with her pitch. That's on the outside corner for strike 2. So Duffy able to find the corner. No balls and 2 strikes. You know, we mentioned that there were 10 teams originally scheduled to be here, now down to 8. As Duffy's next pitch, swing and a foul back to the backstop. Still 0-2 on Kushba. Our first game was South Plainfield and Metuchen. South Plainfield won that game 8-1. And then our last game here was Sayreville and Perth Amboy, a battle of winless teams. Sayreville getting their first win of the season, beating Perth Amboy 16-8. And what was a long game. Your pitch, swing and a pop-up out to short. Tara Jennings over her head into left center field. And Kolarek will try from first to third. Isaac's throw. Hobson's got her. Puts on the tag, and she's out. And so that is the second out of the inning. Kolarek tried to go from first to third. That was a blooper over the head of Jennings. Isaac picked it up and got it into Hobson. Kushba does hit down to second on the throw. So 2 out, a runner on second, and Casey Morrison at the plate. Morrison batting left-handed, hitting at 267 on the year with 2 RBIs. First pitch is at the knees for a called strike. 0-1. That's the German Shepherd back there, wanting to be heard. Next pitch is low for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. So Duffy will go into her windup. Her next pitch, swing and a liner going to short, dropped by Jennings, picks it up, throws to first, and in time for the outside, retired. Santiago held on. And that will do it for Woodbridge. We'll have Sean Morrell come up in the bottom of the second inning. But that'll do it for Woodbridge in the top of the second. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 left. So middle of the second. And no score between North Brunswick and Woodbridge. We'll break and we'll come back with Lady Raider Softball on the King James Radio Network. All right, we come back now here to the bottom of the second inning. So North Brunswick Athletic Director Sean Morrell will join us here for at least this half inning. And so the Lady Raiders and Woodbridge no score here in the Autism Awareness Softball Challenge. Now, Coach Morrell, he's going to be multitasking, running the scoreboard here along with talking to me. So up is Barnes. First pitch misses high for ball 1. Barnes was up at the plate when Allison Ward was caught stealing to end the first inning. You know, so we'll talk to Coach Morrell in a bit about, you know, how the softball portion of this all came about in conjunction with Mike Garlotti, founder of the Teamwork Unlimited Foundation. Fastball on the outside corner, 1-1 on Barnes. So did Coach Garlotti, did he get in touch with you, or you got in touch with him?
No, over the summer I talked with Dave Rosenberg, and we had put together.
This one's popped up over to third base. Madison Kushba going to her left, makes the catch for the first out.
We had talked about possibly putting something together, and we just stayed in communication. And Dave Rosenberg asked me to reach out to schools, and that's what I did. Put it out to GMC schools first, and they moved some games, and just got it together. And then, of course, Mike helped out with shirts and organizing and tacking onto the baseball. So that's kind of how this first annual event came to be.
Referencing Dave Rosenberg, president of the North Brunswick Baseball and Softball Association. Meanwhile, Mia Santiago is at the plate, takes a low fastball for strike 1. Mia is a junior, hitting at 353 with 4 RBIs, and swings on a line drive into center field, and that's going to be a base hit. That was a low pitch there from Christie, and Santiago drilled it into center field. Mia, who has come up with some big hits in the last couple of years for the Lady Raiders. You're mentioning the Carteret game. Lady Raiders are down to their final strike in that game, and she tied the game there in the 7th inning to force extra innings where the Lady Raiders won it. So here's Lauren Duffy, starting pitcher for North Brunswick. Duffy is a junior, hitting at 500, 3 for 6 with a pair of RBI. Swings and misses at the first offering from Christie, 0-1. So was it difficult to put all the moving parts together once, the parties were in contact with each other? Was it difficult to wait till this next pitch, as this is popped up, foul, right side out of play towards the snack shack over there. No balls and 2 strikes. Was it difficult to put together all the moving parts and pieces?
Not really. Once we put it out to GMC ADs, they got back to me pretty quickly, and then we just tried to fill in. We'd hope to get at least
0-2 pitch is a fastball in the outside corner for strike 3, so Duffy called out on strikes for the second out of the inning. Second strikeout for Christie, second out of the inning. Anaya Isaac will come up, and then I'll let Coach Morrell finish. Isaac, 1 for 12 so far on the season.
Yeah, that we tried to put together about 10 to 12 teams, and it was a little bit late to do so in the beginning of the.
First pitch was in the dirt for a ball, throw down to first by Gautier, not in time. Santiago diving back.
The beginning of the season, because teams have things set and they have scenarios that they can't work around, but most teams are pretty flexible.
And your next pitch, that one misses up high. 2 balls and no strikes on Isaac. Isaac representing some of the speed for the Lady Raiders here. Now I always say no pun intended to Cassidy's speed. Cass is on deck. As Christie with her next pitch, that one misses high, ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. I'll wait till Anaya's at bat here before we continue our conversation with North Brunswick Athletic Director Sean Morrell just about how this came about with the softball portion of the Autism Awareness Softball Challenge. And 3-0 misses. It's at belt high for a called strike. And it's 3-1 on Isaac. No score here in the bottom of the second inning. Lady Raiders have a runner on first in Mia Santiago. 2 out. Emily Christie in the circle for Woodbridge. And her next pitch, that one at the knees for a called strike. Isaac takes. It's 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Christie with ball in hand goes into the wind. Or 3-2 pitch, popped foul, right side out of play. So still 3-2 on Christie. Lady Raiders trying to see if they can jump out to a lead here. Santiago on first. Christie with her 3-2s. Fouled back. And right now, Allison Ward with a long at bat in the first inning, and now you see Anaya here. So now you're seeing that Christie may not have a put-away pitch, so to speak. Now, she's only walked 4 batters. Your pitch, swing and a miss, high fastball, strike 3. And that's where the Achilles is for the Lady Raiders, swinging at that high fastball. So that'll do it, side retired. Back-to-back strikeouts for Christie. And so that'll do it for the Lady Raiders in the second. No runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. So end of 2, no score, North Brunswick and Woodbridge. We'll continue our conversation with North Brunswick Athletic Director Sean Morrell. As far as you mentioned it wasn't difficult to put all the moving pieces together. Now, 10 teams were scheduled this year. You had to cancel the Colonia Hillsborough game due to logistics and with the transportation. But how much did you have to scramble around after all the rain last night?
Well, we really did so early in the morning, about 7:30. We realized it was only going to be one field, so just reached out to the athletic directors and found out who could adjust their times if we did 2-hour time slots instead, and tried to fit it all in. And most of them were flexible with that. And outside of the busing issue with 1 or 2 teams, they were able to adjust that by about 8:30 in the morning. Everybody was on board.
And how much does it mean to the program, the softball program, the athletic program, that the games are played here?
Well, I think you want to continue with what's been done with baseball here in the community with autism awareness, and add the softball element to it. North Brunswick has always been big on fundraising and bringing attention to different causes. So we like to continue that, and it's just great to have teams in from all over coming to Community Park, working with Parks and Rec, the Travel Association, and the high school to put together an event like this.
It'll be 8-9-1 in the batting order here to start the third for Woodbridge. Caitlin McCarthy is up. She swings at the first pitch from Duffy and fouls it off to the first base side. 0-1. McCarthy is a senior, hitting at .636. That's 7 for 11 with a homer and a run driven in. She hit that home run in Woodbridge's last game. Check swing, And do they appeal to the base umpire? Not yet. Adriana Barnes looks back at the home plate umpire. They'll appeal to first base. And no, she did not go. So a ball and a strike. And so Lauren Duffy in her wind, her pitch misses outside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike on Caitlin McCarthy. Yeah, so, do you obviously, do you want to try to expand this for the years ahead?
Yeah, I think the goal would be to get this as big as possible, like we see with baseball, maybe 3-day event.
Ground ball hit to second base. Allison Ward there throws to first to get McCarthy for the second out. Or first out of the inning. 1 out, and Elena Montalvo will come up. Montalvo, the number 9 hitter. She is a sophomore, 0 for 7 so far on the season. I'll let you finish your thought there.
Sure. We had some other teams who wanted to participate. They just couldn't. We couldn't match up, opponents at the time, so we had to bail on a couple. But I think that it's a good sign for the future.
Now Montalvo bunts and then foul ball as it hit her while she was in the batter's box. No balls and a strike.
So I think that once we open it up a little bit earlier, maybe get some information out there in the summer, we might see an influx in teams, and then maybe make it a full day or multiple day event.
No balls and a strike on Montalvo. And your next pitch, swing and a miss, high fastball out of the strike zone, 0-2. Was it intentional? If you have to go, just
no, I don't have to go.
Okay.
But I would never have to leave you here. I'll stay on all day.
Yeah, okay. You're too important. No balls and 2 strikes. Duffy with her pitch, swinging a ground ball under the glove of Sydney Hobson into left field. As Cassidy Speed will pick it up and get it in. So, you're my official score. You give that a hit?
Oh, yeah, that was too hard. You can't assume that she would make that backhanded grab down the line.
So, we'll give Montalvo a single. With 1 out, it'll go back to the top of the order. And Kylie Gauthier, who popped out to third base her first time up. So Duffy with her pitch, misses up high, ball 1. I was saying we were I lost my train of thought now. We were talking about something.
Yeah, building up the event to a multiple day event. Adding teams.
Yep, next one is a fastball missing low ball 2. Yes, I was asking you about expanding. What I wanted to ask you, 2 balls and no strikes. See, Coach Morrell gets water, gets whatever he wants out here. 2-0, grounder foul hitting Gauthier in the batter's box, so the count at 2-1. What I wanted to ask you was, this is a division game right here, North Brunswick and Woodbridge. The previous game, Sayreville and Perth Amboy, was also a divisional game. And you can wait until after the pitch to answer this. I'll let you drink. I wanted to know if that was something intentional. We'll hold everyone in suspense as that one misses outside. So 3 balls and a strike on Gauthier. But was it intentional to have division games?
No, it was just a matter of convenience. Both teams had the game on a Friday. They were willing to move it to a Saturday just to get this inaugural event underway.
3-1 from Duffy is in the dirt. Ball 4. Gauthier walks. Second walk for Duffy. So Gauthier is on first. And now Adriana Barnes will head out to the circle to talk to Duffy here. So Montalvo moves down to second. Gauthier on first. 1 out here in the third. Miranda Carroll at the plate. She flied out to center her first time up. And now, in terms of do you're still in your first year as athletic director. Do you focus a lot during the school year on autism and that kind of thing, or is this more of an opportunity for something like that?
Well, I mean, we always work in conjunction with any students in the high school, through various programs. So it's not the first time that athletic department has.
As fastball low for ball 1 to Miranda Carroll. She squared the bunt, did not offer 1-0.
Yeah, that the athletic department has worked on trying to put together some fundraisers events for awareness. So we just hope to grow that over the next few years.
So 1-0 on Carroll. Duffy's pitch popped up as Tara Jennings will call for it near second base, makes the catch, and that is out number 2. So 2 out, and now the heavy part of the Woodbridge lineup comes up. Amelia Kraft struck out looking her first time up. And now Courtney Cuevas, head coach for Woodbridge, wants a courtesy runner. So we'll get a courtesy runner here for the Lady Barrons. I'll go to my lineup card here. Number 4, Faith Perkins, will be the courtesy runner for the catcher, Gautier. So Perkins is on first. Elena Montalvo is on second, 2 out. And again, Amelia Kraft at the plate, who is 0 for 1. So Lauren Duffy. And looking back at head coach Mary Ross, the assistant coach Crystal Carlucci not here. I understand she's under the weather, so we hope Coach Carlucci feeling better. As your pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. Again, talking with Sean Morrell, athletic director here at North Brunswick, about this inaugural Autism Awareness Softball Challenge. I mean, could you see this getting up to 40? Now, there's 2 softball fields here where there's, baseball has 2 fields as well, but could you see this getting up to 40 teams? I'll let you answer after this next pitch. That one on the outside corner for strike 2, but could you see this getting to 40 teams?
I mean, it would have to be, logistically, yeah, it would be a full day on Saturday. We'd have to start early, play into the evening, Sunday as well, and then, Friday after school get a couple games in. I don't see why it couldn't. I mean, we were able to, we had upwards at one point of almost 12 teams, and, that was just the first go-around. So I think if we give people ample time, we can see maybe 20 plus next year and eventually get there.
Fastball outside from Duffy is 1-2 on Kraft. Duffy winds, and her 1-2 pitch popped foul into the backstop. So the count still at 1-2. Have you had a chance to, I know you kind of go from here and there during the course of a school afternoon. Have you seen a lot of Lady Raiders softball games or no?
Yeah, I saw their scrimmages, and I saw 1 or 2
that one is
games.
Popped up third base side and foul ground. Sydney Hobson waits for it, makes the catch. Side retired. And so that will do it for Woodbridge in the second. So for the Lady Barrons, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 left. So middle of the third inning, and the Lady Raiders is scoreless with Woodbridge. So we'll break, and we'll come back with Athletic Director Sean Morrell in just a moment. This is Lady Raiders Softball on the King James Radio Network.
This is Kayla Shear, ready to belt out some monster heads for Lady Raiders Softball on the King James Radio Network.
Kayla Shear is due up 5th here in the bottom of the third inning. No score, North Brunswick and Woodbridge here in the softball portion of the Autism Awareness Challenge. Corbett Thompson here with Sean Morrell, Athletic Director at North Brunswick. And, Coach, 1 or 2 more on the Autism Awareness event itself. You mentioned that you could see this thing, moving to bigger and better, maybe 20 teams next year and then in the coming years. Is there a criteria that, other than obviously being able to get here, as first pitch to Cassidy Speed hits the outside corner for strike 1, is there any particular criteria other than that they just have to have the availability?
No, at this point it's just availability. I'd like to see if they have games already on their schedule that they could move here in the future. If it becomes a bigger thing, we could try to match it up so we're not playing GMC teams or teams don't play, people from their conference, kind of like what baseball does, and just try to match it up. But that's something we would look at as the numbers increase.
1-1 on Cassidy Speed as she swings at a low fastball from Christie and fouls it back. 1-2. Cassidy at 273 on the season with an RBI. And Speed, a right-handed batter. So again, no score here in the bottom of the third. And your next pitch is in the dirt from Christie. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And so my last question as far as autism awareness goes is, did you know when, maybe not even when you took the job of athletic director, as Christie's pitch fouled back by Speed, still 2-2. Did you know kind of, I guess, the scope or the popularity, for lack of a better word, of autism? Did you know how big of an issue that it was? As Speed swings and misses at a high fastball there from Christie for strike 3. That's the first out of the inning. That's 3 in a row for Christie. 4 strikeouts for the game. 1 out, and Veronica Giraldo will come up. Giraldo is a sophomore, hitting at 188, 3 for 16 with an RBI. But did you know how big a deal this was before you got involved with the high school?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've seen the autism awareness grow in every community when they're doing events, and you just know the increased numbers of individuals with autism.
As Geraldo hits this one on the first pitch to right field, Casey Morrison is there to make the catch. That is the second out of the inning. And so the 2 out, nobody on. That'll bring it back to the top of the order. And Tara Jennings, who popped out to second her first time up. I'll let you finish your thought.
Yeah, so it's something that, we are very aware of, the need for bringing more attention to autism.
First pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike to Jennings, 0-1. Again, Tara playing shortstop today, normally in the circle for the Lady Raiders, but Lauren Duffy gets the start today. 0-1 popped up in the infield. It'll go behind the mound. Nobody got it. And no throw to first. Christie was the closest one to it, and she just let it drop. She thought somebody else was going to get it, and it dropped right behind her. And Jennings reaches on, basically an infield hit. Nobody touched it. And so sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. You know that. Tara Jennings on first. And that'll bring up Allison Ward. Ward walked her first time up. This time, Ward will hit right-handed. She hit left-handed earlier. First pitch, fastball low, ball 1. So we'll see if the Lady Raiders can take advantage here of this break, as Woodbridge should have been out of the inning. So 1 ball and no strikes. And Christie's pitch, popped foul, right side, out of play. And the count now at 1-1. So there you have it from Athletic Director Sean Morrell from North Brunswick about the formation of the softball portion of the Autism Awareness Challenge, as Ward fouls the next one back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. No score. North Brunswick and Woodbridge. Again, Woodbridge in third place by a game over the Lady Raiders. Your pitch, hit in the air, out to right center field, and on the run, making the catch is Amaya Lewis, side retired. Lewis had to go all the way out towards right center, and so that will do it for the Lady Raiders in the third. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 left. And so, end of 3, no score between North Brunswick and Woodbridge. So we will break, and we will come back to Community Park in a moment on the King James Radio Network. Top of the 4th inning here at our first annual Autism Awareness Softball Challenge, as the Lady Raiders lead it, I keep getting ahead of myself with that. They're scoreless here with Woodbridge here in the 4th. And again, this is not a tournament. This is just more of a softball event. No winner or runner-up or anything like that. So it'll be 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order. Emily Kolaric will face Lauren Duffy here in the circle. And your first pitch, fastball misses outside for ball 1. So again, North Brunswick Athletic Director Sean Morrell staying with us. To provide a little bit of commentary. Coach Morrell was a former baseball coach himself. I told him if he has to go at any time, just let me know. So Duffy with her next pitch. That one misses up high. 2 balls and no strikes. Coach Morrell's a busy man, so I understand that. Count it 2-0. And so Duffy winds her pitch. Popped up, right side down the right field line, going out, and collision. It drops in fair territory. As out to get it was Veronica Giraldo. She collided out there with Allison Ward. The ball drops. And so Kolaric reaches first. We'll have to charge an error to the right fielder, I think.
Yeah, I think you have to make that call early and wave everybody off. Take charge out there. I didn't hear. It's a little bit loud over here.
Yep. So Kolaric reaches first. First error for the Lady Raiders. That'll bring up Emily Christie, who struck out looking her first time up. First pitch, squares to bunt, misses it. Foul ball. Nope, foul ball. It bounced off of Barnes. No balls and a strike. It looks like, the gap is right up the middle behind Duffy, as next pitch is a fastball low. 1 ball and a strike here on Christie. So Kolaric on first, and you're 1-1. Swing and a miss and a pitch in the dirt. And the count at 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As Duffy will wind the 1-2, misses high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we'll see if the Lady Raiders can work around the error here and get back in the dugout. But it's 2-2 on Christie. Duffy winds her 2-2 pitch, misses low, ball 3. And runner goes, throw down to second from, no, safe from Duffy. Base umpire Cassandra Ottman's making the call. And so a delayed steal for Kolaric puts the count full at 3-2. Your umpires for today are Steve Youngman behind the plate, and the aforementioned Cassandra Ottman is the base umpire. 3-2, popped up, third base side, and foul ground. Sydney Hobson over, makes the catch, and that's the first out of the inning. Ottman's, or check that Ottman's, she's the umpire. Christie tried to pull that and ended up hitting it in foul ground. That'll bring up Madison Kushba. Kushba singled her first time up.
Coach, you know if you have anybody throwing?
As your pitch, popped foul behind the plate. Look out. Oh, nice catch. No balls and a strike on Kushba. So yeah,
we'll see if anybody's around.
Anybody comes back here, I'm not catching it. So as the 0-1 from Duffy, that's fouled back into the backstop. No balls and 2 strikes on Madison Kushba. Yeah. So the count at 0-2. You mentioned you got to see some scrimmages with the girls this year, so I'll ask you, in a moment what stood out for you as Duffy with her 0-2. This one, high fly ball out to right field. Geraldo there makes the catch, tagging from second. This Kolaric to throw to third, goes wide of the bag. So Kolaric reaches third. Kushba flies out. 2 out, and Casey Morrison at the plate. She grounded out to short her first time up. Anything stood out to you in the scrimmages that you watched? Or?
Well, what I saw, we were able to get some runs across, which was good. The hitting looked pretty seasoned. And again, they have their pitchers are pretty consistent, so they should be competitive in all their games this year.
First
matter
pitch,
of putting it all together.
First pitch on the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1 to Morrison. Yeah, I don't think offense will be the issue. Defensively, there's been some letdowns, but I think offensively, they're scoring. As your next pitch, this is low, 1 ball and a strike. Matter of fact, as of right now, they're averaging 8.6 runs per game coming into today, which is the most in this decade for a Lady Raiders softball team. So, offense won't be the issue. Duffy with her pitch. High fly ball out to right field, and this one is gone. Good night. A 2-run homer for Casey Morrison puts Woodbridge on the board at 2-0. And so that, was about waist high, and Morrison took a mighty hack and got it out over the right center field fence. So now, what do you normally tell your pitchers after, they've given up a home run?
Well, I guess you go out there and tell them that they're averaging 8.6 runs a game, and they need to make sure their offense scores some and just keep it at this 2 runs here, and you'll be all right.
First home run of the season for Morrison. And that will bring up Caitlin McCarthy, who grounded out to second her first time up. And first pitch from Duffy misses low for ball 1. I talked about earlier in the game about, what Duffy, told me before the game. I was talking a little bit with Lauren before the game, and she said, whenever I make a bad pitch, I just need to get it out of my head and, not worry about it, as that one breaking pitch misses inside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes on McCarthy. But I was just telling her, or she was telling me, not to let, when you make a bad pitch, not to let it get the best of you. As Duffy with the 2-0, chopped foul behind the plate, and the count now at 2-1. So is it important to have a short memory here?
Yeah, in all sports you have to have a short memory. You want to use it enough for motivation, but at the same time you don't want it to get to you. So it can be a sticky situation for some.
2 balls and a strike on McCarthy. And Duffy with the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Elevated that one. And the count at 2-2. And maybe that's where Duffy needs to go. You know, Christie has been doing it to the North Brunswick hitters. She's been climbing the ladder. And maybe Duffy needs to do the same. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Your next pitch. Popped up. Foul ball right side out of play. It'll still be 2-2. You hear the train going by. I think that's New Jersey Transit going by. There's a train station off in the distance. They're supposed to be building a train station here, but that's been talked about for years. But you know, that's one of the unique nuances of North Brunswick Community Park. You get the train going by. 2 balls and 2 strikes, similar to, you know, Shea Stadium / Citi Field. 2-2, where the planes go overhead. That one misses high, 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And you're 3-2. Swinging a grounder foul outside of first. Still 3-2. You know, how much did you have, maybe, you know, Coach Rossi, I'm sure, played a large part in this, but how much of the process of coming back to Community Park, just in general, they hadn't played here in 5 years. So how much of that process was you talking to the MBBSA, and how much of it was Coach Rossi?
Oh, I mean, it was pretty much the association and myself who worked on that extensively. Yeah, the coach was just more like, you know, consulting, make sure we wanted to move this game particularly, if there was you know, another schedule arrangement we wanted to make. But outside of that, we kind of tried to put that together.
McCarthy fouls off another one, so it's 3-2. As Duffy winds, her 3-2 pitch popped up behind the plate. That's going to come back this way and will hit the backstop. And the count at 3-2. I think Rhoda Hales back there called my name. I'm not catching anything. Trust me. You know, if I don't have my glove with me, it's not getting caught. 3 balls and 2 strikes on McCarthy. So Duffy trying to get out of this inning here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. She winds, and her 3-2. Swing and a miss. It's in the dirt. Barnes, it's behind her. Has to pick it up. Won't bother with the throw. McCarthy reaches. So there's a strikeout for Duffy, which is her 3rd of the day, but McCarthy reaches. So she'll be on first. The number 9 hitter, Elena Montalvo, will come up. Montalvo singled her first time up. Now this is their number 9 hitter, so were you happy when you were able to kind of clear out your number 9 hitter and no matter what happens, get back to the top of the order?
Oh, absolutely. They're in a great spot right here.
As Duffy with her pitch. And went at the belt for a called strike. 0-1. So 2-0 Woodbridge here in the top of the 4th. Lady Raiders looking for their first back-to-back wins of the season. Woodbridge has won 3 straight. Your pitch popped foul behind the backstop. That'll come back this way. Nice kick save right there. No balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, Shannon O'Neill threw out the first pitch before the game today. It was. I ask you if you know, if there was any. As 0-2 misses up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Was there a selection process there or no?
No, it was voluntary. You know, you just put it out to see whoever might be available to come in, and you know, all schools had an opportunity to do that. You know, in the future, we continue to extend invitations to whomever would like to come out.
1-2 pitch is swung on and missed on a high fastball from Duffy for strike 3. Side retired. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Duffy. However, Woodbridge, they scored 2 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 left. So middle of the 4th now, Woodbridge leads it by a score of 2-0 here at the Autism Awareness Softball Challenge. So we'll break and we'll come back with Lady Raiders Softball on the King James Radio Network. We go now to the bottom of the 4th inning. And Corbett Thompson, Sean Morrell here at North Brunswick Community Park, where the Lady Raiders are battling Woodbridge here. North Brunswick trails 2-0 here against the Lady Barrons. But the big part of the order is up. Kayla Shear will start things off, 3, 4, and 5, followed by Adriana Barnes and Mia Santiago. Kayla struck out swinging her first time up. Emily Christie's pitch, way up high, ball 1. Now, you know, Coach Morrell, I'll ask you to tell me what you just said to me off air about how the Lady Raiders can get back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, they're making some contact here. I think that if they just get their timing down a little bit, maybe move back in the box or just adjust a little bit. She's been pretty consistent throwing strikes today.
1-0 fastball misses low, ball 2. 2-0 on Shear. So Kayla in the driver's seat here. And the 2-0. Fastball at the knees for a called strike. Count at 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. As Christie with the 2-1, swinging a hard ground ball going into right center field, and that will be a base hit. And it actually gets past the center fielder, Lewis. Shear will go to second. So give Shear a single, and then reaching second on the error from Lewis. So first error of the day for Woodbridge. And so that was just a hard ground ball that nobody could get to going into right center field. And now Adriana Barnes will come up. Barnes popped out to third her first time up. And Christie's pitch, that one at the belt for a called strike, 0-1. And again, Barnes leads the team with 10 RBIs coming into today. Drove in 5 in the Lady Raiders home opener. Your pitch, sliced foul to the backstop. No balls and 2 strikes. It was the season opener against Sayreville. Drove in 5. So the count at 0-2 on Adriana here. Shear on second. And Christie with her pitch. Misses in the dirt, stopped by the catcher Gauthier. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Adriana Barnes. Elena Montalvo playing way off the left field line here. Your 3-2 or 1-2. This is up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Adriana Barnes. Barnes, her first varsity home run was a grand slam, but 1 on here as her pitch misses high. So the count full on Barnes, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kayla Shear on second. Here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 Woodbridge. So into the line, your next pitch. Fastball just missed low, ball 4. And so Barnes walks. That's the second walk issued by Christie. Now she's only walked 4 the entire season. And Ward worked her, for a 12-pitch walk in the first inning, and now Barnes here. So when you have somebody, you mentioned before about Christie, she throws strikes. Do you have to be incredibly patient to try and work out a walk like that?
I mean, I think that you're assuming strikes, so you got to just go up there and be ready to swing the bat. I mean, it makes it a little bit more difficult because sometimes you become over anxious. So you're assuming a strike, so you want to put the ball in the play. So yeah, it does take a good eye and some patience up there. That was a great at bat. I mean, she was 0-2 and she worked that walk.
Here's Mia Santiago. Singled her first time up, squares the bunt, slaps at first base side, gets past the first baseman Kraft, going into the outfield, coming home to score is Shear. Barnes goes to third. And so a slap hit for Santiago makes it 2-1 Woodbridge. Santiago was not necessarily a bunt in the traditional sense, kind of slapped at it, poked at it, and hit it hard enough to get it past Kraft at first base. And so Shear scores, Barnes to third. Here's Lauren Duffy. First pitch misses high, ball 1. Duffy struck out looking her first time up. So the Lady Raiders cut the deficit there. Now the third base bag is out of place, so they'll try to fix that. Meanwhile, RBI number 5 on the season for Santiago.
Not a great attempt at cleaning out that base, I have to say.
They might need you over there, but
that's teamwork right there.
Yes. Madison Cushbo over there for Woodbridge helping out Barnes. See, they make your job a lot easier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was no way I was going out there.
So it looks like everything is settled. 1 ball and no strikes on Duffy. So Barnes at third, Santiago at first. 2-1 Woodbridge here in the bottom of the 4th. Still nobody out here in the 4th inning. And Christie with a pitch. Duffy squares and pitches up high. Runner goes to second. Throw down is cut off. Santiago steals the base. And it's 2 balls and no strikes on Duffy. So I'll ask you, do you have her take here on 2-0?
I would need to know the batter more, and know her as my player.
2-0. Takes on the inside corner for a called strike. Yeah, Lauren hasn't hit a lot this year. So this is really, the first chance that she pitched one game, swing and a miss. She pitched the last game against Perth Amboy, but before that, didn't play a lot. 2-2 on Duffy here. So Barnes at third, Santiago at second, 2-2. Misses low, ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes now on Duffy. And now this is an interesting spot here because Christie, who's already walked 2, and again has only walked 4 coming into today for the season. So if you're Duffy, you're probably expecting a strike here.
Yeah, I would just have her throw right over.
And you're 3-2. A high one swung on and fouled off, maybe a little bit out of the strike zone there.
Yeah, definitely.
So still 3-2 on Duffy. If you're the pitcher, you're kind of like just saying, "Oh, I got away with one."
Oh, I think so. Absolutely. I mean, you want to make her hit the ball here.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Duffy. 2 in scoring position for the Lady Raiders here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-1 Woodbridge. You're 3-2. Misses high, ball 4. Third walk for Christie. And that loads the bases. And that'll bring up Anaya Isaac. Isaac struck out swinging her first time up. And so for the Lady Raiders, nobody out here, so you just have to put the ball in play.
That's it.
If you're Anaya.
Infield's in. Maybe get lucky, get the ball dribble past, and score 2 runs.
First pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Gautier, ball 1.
Base runners have to be alert too, right? And these pass balls, she's been a little inconsistent.
I was about to say it's about roughly 12 feet or so to the backstop. That one, it hits the umpire. It got past Gautier.
That was a run right there.
Yep, it hit home plate umpire Steve Youngman, which kept it around for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes on Isaac. Courtney Cuevas, head coach for Woodbridge, will go out here to chat with Christie. And yeah, that one hit off the foot of home plate umpire Steve Youngman. Otherwise, that probably would have been a run.
Yeah. I'd like to see the Raiders get into this game here. This is where you could really open it up for your team. Bases loaded, no outs. She looks like she's struggling a little bit.
You start a rally.
Absolutely.
So again, the count is 2 balls and no strikes on Anaya Isaac. Cassidy Speed is on deck. I like what Mary Rossi did with Cass is, putting her towards the bottom of the order. Cass, certainly capable of driving in runs and, could hit, anywhere in the order really, but put her down towards the bottom just to get some production, out of that spot. So 2-0 on Isaac. And your pitch misses low, ball 3. Nowhere to put Anaya. 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, maybe those long innings earlier on were helpful. Those 20 at-bat pitches or whatever it was.
12 to Allison Ward and 3-0. Misses high, ball 4. That ties the game. Give Isaac an RBI.
Might be a little pitching change here.
Yeah, Courtney Cuevas has her lineup card out. And so, it looks like we are going to get a pitching change. Adriana scores the tying run for the Lady Raiders. We're tied at 2. Mia Santiago heads to third. Lauren Duffy to second. Isaac on first with a walk and an RBI. We will get a new pitcher here for the Lady Barrons. Now, up until this point, Christie has done all of the pitching. She's pitched every inning for Woodbridge up until this point. So we're going to have a completely new pitcher here for the Lady Barons. So Cassidy Speed will come up with the bases loaded. There is still nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Say that again? Thank you. And so we will take a break for the pitching change, and then we'll come back in a moment on the King James Radio Network.
This is our 8th season of North Brunswick Raiders baseball on the King James Radio Network, and Raiders head coach Mark Blevins is in his 3rd year as he leads a young roster of new Raiders with seniors Christian Petrillo and Andrew Tan at the core, ready to lead their legacy on Guido de Torres Field. We will have live coverage of selected Raiders games, including the Autism Awareness Baseball Challenge and the GMC Tournament, right here at jamesisking.com.
Gia Dominguez will come on to pitch here for Woodbridge. And again, Dominguez has not pitched yet this year, but she will now. Dominguez is a sophomore. And if I'm correct, this is her first varsity appearance. If I'm correct, I would have to actually look it up, but I believe this is her first varsity appearance. She will come into not an easy situation. Bases loaded for the Lady Raiders with nobody out, 2 runs in. Cassidy Speed at the plate. Speed struck out swinging her first time up. So Dominguez with her pitch, swinging a fly ball, going out to left center field, and this one is gone! Good night! That is a first pitch grand slam from Cassidy Speed. And the Lady Raiders take a 6-2 lead with 6 runs here in the 4th inning. First pitch from Dominguez, new pitcher in the game, low fastball, and Speed took care of the rest. That one towards the scoreboard out there in center field. First home run of the year for Speed. RBIs 2, 3, 4, and 5. Mia Santiago scores, Lauren Duffy scores, and Anaya Isaac scores. First pitch to Veronica Giraldo misses inside for ball 1. Giraldo flied out to right field her first time up. Right-handed batter, Dominguez with her pitch. Breaking ball outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes on Giraldo. Your next is misses inside, ball 3. Now 3-0. And all of a sudden, the Lady Raiders have exploded here for 6 runs. Your next pitch is then there for a called strike, 3-1. So that closes the book on Christie, on Emily Christie. She's charged with 5 runs. 3-1, and this one is a liner caught. Leaping grab by Emily Kolaric at shortstop. And that will be the first out of the inning. I see Coach Morell's on his phone, so I turned his mic down. But 1 out. And that'll bring up Tara Jennings. Jennings singled her last time up. Ground ball to third. Over the bag. Going down the third base line. Going into the left field corner. Jennings will make the turn. She'll head to second with a double. And the Lady Raiders have taken advantage of the newness of Gio Dominguez here.
Mm-hmm. Way to jump on it, you know. Notice you got a new pitcher in there who hasn't pitched very much this year, if at all, like you said. So.
Yeah, and Speed did not waste any time. First pitch. And first pitch to Allison Ward misses high for ball 1. Ward is the 9th batter of the inning, so the Lady Raiders have batted around. Ward has walked and flied out to center. And Dominguez with her pitch. It's at the knees for a called strike. Count at 1-1. And your next pitch, swinging a line drive, going into right field for a base hit. Going to third is Jennings. She will stop there as the throw comes in to Kraft. So Ward keeps things going with a single. And now the 10th batter of the inning is Kayla Shear. She will get the catcher's gear off. Or did she get did she get thrown out? Well, I guess so. So score at 9-3 then.
Oh, really? Oh.
I did not see that.
Me neither.
As your pitch to Shear gets away from Gauthier to the backstop. Coming home to score your next run is Jennings. So we'll call it a passed ball. 7 runs in the 4th inning for North Brunswick. They now lead it 7-2. So scratch the single for Ward, and it's a 9-3 putout. As Shear swings and hits this one in the short center field. That drops in for a hit. So Shear, she's definitely on first base with a single. Kayla's second hit of the day. The countdown continues for Kayla. Now needs only 20 hits. That's hit number 80 in her career. to reach 100. So that will bring up Adriana Barnes. Barnes walked earlier in this inning. First pitch, misses low, ball 1. So the Lady Raiders with 7 runs here in the 4th inning. You mentioned it before, when we were talking about Lauren Duffy. As your next pitch, swinging a liner right at shortstop, and Emily Kolaric side retired. And so the Lady Raiders send 11 to the plate. They score 7 runs, and they do it on 3 hits. Yet 7 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error and 1 left. And so, end of 4, North Brunswick 7, and Woodbridge 2. We'll break. We'll come back on the King James Radio Network.
This week at Restoration Place, When Jesus Knocks by Pastor John Bazemore Jr.
I have preached over and over again the importance of the words that come out of your mouths. I have said it, if I have said it one time, I've said it 100. We are to be careful of the words that we say out of our mouths. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you are.
Be restored at Restoration Place every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time and on demand anytime on the King James Radio Network at jamesisking.com.
I was looking at North Brunswick athletic trainer Jackie Morrison and the assistant coach for Woodbridge. They were just walking by together. They look almost alike. It's scary because for a minute I took one look at the assistant coach, the first base coach there for Woodbridge, and I thought she was Miss Mo. I thought she was Jackie Morrison. They look very, very similar in body type, hair, the whole thing. So we go to the top of the 5th inning. The Lady Raiders with a 7 spot in the 4th. They lead it 7-2. It'll be top of the order for Woodbridge. Kylie Gauthier is up first. Gauthier walked her last time up. So Lauren Duffy with her pitch. Misses up and away for ball 1. So the Lady Raiders will try to shut the door right here. Duffy looking for a second win. And her pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike. And count now at 1-1. Lady Raiders with 7 in the 4th, highlighted by a grand slam from Cassidy Speed. Her first career grand slam. Swing and a foul back, belt high from Duffy. The count at 1-2. By the way, if we didn't mention it, we'll recap what we have so far in the Autism Awareness Softball Challenge. South Plainfield beat Metuchen by a score of 8-1 earlier today. Sayreville over Perth Amboy 16-8. As next pitch, swung on a foul back coming this way. Count still 0-2 to the backstop. 0-2 on Kylie Gauthier. Middlesex against Irvington is still on the horizon for today, but Colonia versus Hillsborough has been canceled. So if you're anybody from Colonia or Hillsborough, don't come here today. Next pitch, swing and a grounder, foul outside of first. I mean, you can still come, but you won't see Colonia or Hillsborough here today. As it's no balls and 2 strikes on Kylie Gauthier. So North Brunswick Athletic Director Sean Morrell rejoins us at the mic after he takes one of his many phone calls. Next pitch, fouled back. A low pitch there from Lauren Duffy. So still no balls and 2 strikes on Kylie Gauthier. Yeah. So, they put up 7. So we'll see if they make it stick. As Duffy winds and her pitch misses low, ball 1. Oh, I'm sorry, 2-2. 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Long at bat here for Gauthier. And Duffy with her pitch misses high, ball 3. Now the count at 3-2. I see someone warming up for Woodbridge behind the Woodbridge dugout. It's not Dominguez, I know that. And you're 3-2. Swing and a grounder going over to short. Allison Ward fields. Throws to first. In time to get Gauthier 1 out. So 1 out in the inning, and Miranda Carroll will come up. Carroll is 0 for 2. She has flied out to center and popped out to short. And so obviously, Coach, that's a big lift to get 7 runs like that. You mentioned we were talking about with Lauren Duffy that, hey, you have 8.6 runs per game. We'll get it back, and that's exactly what happened.
Right. I mean, you got to rely on your offense if that's your strength at this point, and get pumped up when things start going your way. It's also important to get that out right there. I think you want to get that first out of this inning after scoring 7 runs.
First pitch to Miranda Carroll is low for ball 1, so 1 ball and no strikes. And so Duffy will wind the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Count at a ball and a strike now on Carroll. And, this is a big hitter for Duffy because Amelia Kraft is up next. She's the number 3 hitter for Woodbridge. So big at bat right here. As your next pitch. Fouled back to the backstop. And the count now at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And you remember what I was telling you last inning about having Cassidy hit 8th. And, that she is a run producer, and to put her in that spot in the order, I thought it was genius on the part of Mary Rossi.
Yeah, genius. I think she may have even known that new pitcher was coming in who's never pitched before.
Popped up behind the plate. Barnes will, it drops, and it's in fair territory. Off the glove of Barnes. And so Carroll reaches on the error, and Barnes,
Yeah, you got to turn your back on that, face your back to the infield, ball spinning back. I think he caught her a little bit off guard. It was so high up, close to that backstop.
Yeah, the high pop-ups are, the hard ones. And so, Barnes, with her hands over her head in disgust. And now I think we're going to get a runner here for Carroll, perhaps, as Courtney Cuevas, pinch hitter, rather. Pinch hitter. Courtney Cuevas puts out her lineup card. So, pinch hitter. As the home plate umpire will go over to Mary Rossi here to give. So it looks like Faith Perkins will pinch hit for Woodbridge. So Perkins pinch hitting for Kraft. So there must be something going on with Kraft. She's the number 3 hitter for Woodbridge. So you wouldn't take her out, just because. Perkins is 0 for 1 so far on the season. Right-handed batter. And Duffy with her pitch. It holds off. It's a high one, ball 1. So we are in the top of the 5th inning. 1 out, runner on first. As Duffy will wind, and her next pitch misses low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, because on that pop-up, I thought it was going to go off the backstop there. So maybe that was part of it. So Duffy behind 2-0 here. And she will wind, 2-0 pitch, misses high, ball 3. The count at 3-0. Now, I don't know what Mary Rossi might be thinking here. Now, Duffy's certainly not in real trouble yet, but you do have Tara Jennings in the fold if you need to go there. And the 3-0 is on the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, right now it should be 2 outs. And, I think she'd be a little bit more comfortable with that final batter, but
the 3-1 swing and a soft ground ball over to second. Ward has it. Her play will be to first and gets the out. Throw to second, and diving back is Carroll. So 2 out in the inning, and Emily Kolaric will come to the plate. Kolaric reached on an error in right field her last time up, so 0 for 1 with a walk. And again, this is the big part of the Woodbridge order here. Kolaric has 10 RBIs to lead the Lady Barrons, so Duffy has to be careful. First pitch at the knees for a called strike. 0-1. So no balls and a strike. As Duffy will wind, her next pitch in the dirt, stopped by Barnes. 1 ball and a strike on Kolaric. So the count at 1-1. So Duffy will wind with her next pitch. Swing and a pop-up out to short right field. Allison Ward out, makes the catch. Side retired. Now, Lauren Duffy, last year had 1 win, so she's never had 2 wins in a season, so she is 6 outs away from doing just that. For Woodbridge, no runs on no hits. There was 1 error and 1 left. Middle of the 5th, North Brunswick with a 7-2 lead over the Lady Barrons. We will break and come back with Lady Raiders softball on the King James Radio Network. We come back here for the bottom of the 5th inning. Corbett Thompson, Sean Morrell here at the table behind the backstop here. And so new pitcher in the game for Woodbridge, Amelia Kraft, re-enters the game as the pitcher. No, go ahead. I had your mic down. Go ahead.
Didn't realize I didn't have my headset on.
You forgot your mic.
Right.
As I was saying, Amelia Kraft re-enters the game as the pitcher. She was the first baseman for Woodbridge. And so another new pitcher here for the Lady Barrons.
She pitched this year or no, right?
No.
The starter pitcher had pitched the whole season.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. And now Woodbridge, aside from their game against JFK where they lost 3-0, they faced Perth Amboy, they faced Sayreville, teams that have having down years. So I don't think Courtney Cuevas has had to go to a lot of pitchers in the beginning. She was able to stick with Christie, but here against a more formidable opponent, having to mix and match a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so Christie was the starting pitcher. So now Dominguez and now Kraft. So let's see. I have to see who takes over at first base for the Lady Barrons. So I'll have that information soon enough. I should have asked the home plate umpire. But it'll be Mia Santiago up first, takes the first pitch, missing outside for ball 1. Santiago, 2 for 2, 2 singles and a run scored. Mia, right-handed batter. And your pitch, then at the belt for a called strike. Count at 1-1. So a ball and a strike. And so Kraft with her next pitch, swing, and this is into left center field. That's going to go in for a base hit. Dropped by Lewis, the center fielder. Santiago will head to second, slides in. So a single and an error for Santiago. Mia's 3rd hit of the day.
Great base running.
Yep, she saw
the bobble and just went for it.
Yep.
Keep the pressure on.
So Santiago is on second. And that'll bring up Lauren Duffy. First pitch at the belt for a called strike. Duffy is 0 for 1. Walked her last time up. So the Lady Raiders trying to tack on here. Your next pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. So 1 ball and a strike. So now with ball in hand, your next pitch, swing and a line drive
swing.
Going down the left field line. That's going to go into the corner. Santiago will score. Lauren Duffy has an RBI double, and the Lady Raiders lead it 8-2. So Duffy, and again, pretty much the entire game, Woodbridge was not guarding the left field line. Montalvo playing way off the line there in left field, and that allowed Duffy to hit one that way.
Yeah, new pitcher, they're going to get around on her. You might want to shift that fielder down that line a little bit more.
So that'll bring up Anaya Isaac, who walked her last time up, 0 for 1. And pitch is at the belt for a called strike. 0-1. So now 8-2 North Brunswick here. And your next pitch. This is outside. So a ball and a strike on Isaac. Duffy at second. Nobody out here in the 5th. And Kraft with her pitch. Breaking ball on the outside corner for a called strike. 1-2. And so it goes to show you that even in softball, generally, most cases you'll have one pitcher, pitch. But even in softball, you have to have a little bit of depth at the position. As your next pitch. Ground ball hit over the shortstop, fielded by Kalarick, throws to first, and gets Isaac by a stride. Duffy holds at second. So 1 out. And that will bring up the dangerous Cassidy Speed. Speed hit a grand slam her last time up. And your pitch misses up high, ball 1. I'm trying to think if I'm correct without looking it up. I believe Kayla Shear is the last person to hit a grand slam for, 2 home runs in a game for the Lady Raiders. And your pitch misses outside for ball 2, 2-0 on Speed. Adriana Barnes was the last person to hit a grand slam, but Kayla Shear, I think, was the last person to hit 2 home runs in a game. 2 balls and no strikes on Cass here. Duffy leads off second. You're 2-0. Foul, no, popped up, and making the catch is the pitcher Kraft. And so that is the second out of the inning. Meanwhile, I finally figured out who's at first base. Casey Morrison is now at first, which means there's a new right fielder. So 2 out. And that'll bring up Veronica Giraldo. Giraldo 0 for 2. And misses outside does Kraft, ball 1. So ball and no strikes. And your next pitch. This one hit high in the air down the right field line. That will go foul. So the count at a ball and a strike. So 1-1 on Giraldo. And Kraft with her pitch. Fouled back to the backstop. And the count now at 1-2. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 out here. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Veronica Giraldo. The Lady Raiders lead it by a score of 8-2 over Woodbridge. And your pitch. Swing and a grounder going over to short. Backhanded by Kalarick. Goes to third. No! Off the glove of the third baseman, Kushba. Duffy will hold at third wisely. And so that'll be another error charge to Woodbridge. So Duffy reaches third. So an error and a fielder's choice for Giraldo. And so that will bring it to the top of the order. And Tara Jennings, first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. Jennings doubled her last time up. She's 2 for 3. And the Lady Raiders, trying to get it again to the heavy hitters in the lineup. And your next pitch, swing and a grounder, foul ball, third base line. And the count at 1-1. If I remember correctly, I believe it was Jennings that hit that one, the one over the third base bag the last time.
Yep, you're right.
So it's a ball and a strike on Tara. Lauren Duffy, the runner at third. Veronica Giraldo at first. 1-1 on Jennings. Kraft into the line in her pitch. And a fly ball out to left field. Montalvo is there and makes the catch. Side retired. But the Lady Raiders do score 1 more. 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 1 left. End of 5. And the Lady Raiders now lead it by a score of 8-2. We will take ourselves a break, and we will come back with Lady Raiders softball on the King James Radio Network.
This week at Restoration Place, When Jesus Knocks, by Pastor John Bazemore Jr.
I have preached over and over again the importance of the words that come out of your mouths. I have said it, if I have said it 1 time, I've said it 100. We are to be careful of the words that we say out of our mouths. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you are.
Be restored at Restoration Place every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time and on demand anytime on the King James Radio Network at jamesisking.com.
All right, so we go to the 6th inning. Woodbridge trailing 8-2, and Gia Dominguez is going to hit in Emily Christie's spot here. I thought maybe they'd re-enter Christie, but they're going to go with Dominguez here. Lauren Duffy will make her pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. I don't want to say that Woodbridge is waving the white flag here, but I would think you'd want, you need offense here down by 6 runs. Your next pitch, pop foul going towards the Woodbridge dugout off of the covering there. No balls and 2 strikes on Dominguez. Let me see if Dominguez has any at-bats this year. She's actually 1 for 9 with 3 RBIs. Left-handed batter against Lauren Duffy. So Duffy will wind, and her next pitch popped foul to the backstop, so still 0-2. Is pretty much gone cloudy here. The sun is now gone. No rain, though. So that's the thing I'm most happy about. No rain. Rain is expected tomorrow. We'll be over at the baseball side of Community Park tomorrow. Your pitch lays off. It's high. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Gia Dominguez. Baseball, North Brunswick baseball tomorrow at 7 o'clock. The Raiders will take on Hillsborough. It'll be Raiders versus Raiders. So Lauren Duffy with her next pitch. Swing and a miss. Low fastball from Duffy for strike 3, and that's the first out of the inning. Strikeout number 5 for Lauren Duffy. 1 out, and Madison Kushba will come to the plate. Kushba is 1 for 2. She has singled and flied out to right. Again, here with North Brunswick Athletic Director Sean Morrell, providing a little insight. Former baseball coach himself. And so Duffy with her pitch and misses high for ball 1. I want to ask you something. Jim Muldowney takes over as the softball coach at Middlesex County College, and his daughter Mary Lynn played here for North Brunswick. Was an all-star and went on to Rhode Island. As Duffy will wind with the 1-0, and that one misses low. 2 balls and a strike. Can something like that connection, that third-degree connection, if you will, can that only help a program?
Are you talking about Middlesex County's program, or are you talking about North Brunswick?
About North Brunswick's program, the connection, with Jim Muldowney to Mary Lynn, the fact that she played here, played in this park, as a matter of fact, as Duffy misses high 2-1. The fact that she played here, can you connect the dots?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's good for North Brunswick to have somebody who is aware of what's happening in the community, who's a connection at the college level. I mean, I think it's great for the GMC in general because everybody knows Coach Jim Muldowney. I mean, so for that reason, it's great to expand the county softball program as a whole and then try to feed some of those kids to Middlesex County. It's a great opportunity for kids to go there for 2 years or whatever it might be and save some money on college and do what's best for them. College is very expensive, and it's no real need to go 4 years to a college anymore. It might be more prudent to play softball, get a lot of time in, know that you're going to play at the next level before making a move. So I think it's great for everyone.
Duffy missed with a 3-1 fastball to Kushba for ball 4. Kushba walks. First pitch to Casey Morrison, misses low for ball 1. Morrison homered her last time up, so this is a bit of a danger here for Duffy. So Kushba will be on first. Your pitch is at the knees for a called strike. Count now at 1-1 on Morrison. So that would be the third walk of the day for Duffy. And your next pitch swung. This is belted to right field, going into the corner, and that is gone. No, is it off the fence?
It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Well, good night. Second home run of the day for Casey Morrison. Another 2-run shot, and that puts Woodbridge relatively back in it. It's 8-4 Lady Raiders. That one was just a shot going down the right field line. Geraldo had very little to no chance at it. And so Morrison getting the better of Duffy again there. As Kushba scores in front of her, and that's where the walks hurt. And so Duffy will have to reset. And Caitlin McCarthy will come up. McCarthy struck out her first time up, but she reached first as the ball got past Adriana Barnes. So officially 0 for 2. First one misses inside for ball 1. And so, this is what we talked about regrouping after a bad pitch, regrouping. We'll see if Duffy can get it back together. And the 1-0. Grounder going over to short. Allison Ward bobbles, picks it up. Check that. Jennings picks it up, bobbles, throws the first not in time. So the error will be charged to Jennings there. And Woodbridge has another one on. And time is called. Mary Rossi will head out here and speak to her infield. So, Do you sense a momentum shift here, or is it still early for that?
No, it's definitely a momentum shift. I mean, you just put up 2 runs, and there's only 1 out, man, on first base. I mean, you want to contain this and make sure you can get out of this inning, get some more swings against their new pitchers that are coming in. I mean, there's still a positive that you're swinging the bats pretty well with the new pitchers, but I mean, I just think you want to settle down, throw some strikes and make some plays. I mean, that's about it.
Elena Montalvo is the scheduled hitter. She is 1 for 2. She has singled and struck out her last time up. So Montalvo will have a runner on first for Woodbridge as the Lady Raiders lead at 8-4 with 1 out here in the 6th inning. So Lauren Duffy needs 5 more outs for a win to put the Lady Raiders at 4-2 and, at least give them 3rd place in the GMC White. As this one is swung on and popped up. Going out to right field. Who's going to get it? Geraldo comes in and makes a sliding catch. Throw to first. Gets past Santiago. It'll go to the fence. Barnes backing up the play. So McCarthy gets back in. But Geraldo at least making the catch there for the 2nd out.
Yeah, much more aggressive on that one than the one in the 1st inning, I think it was, or 2nd that blooped in. She was on a good jump and made her decision to make that play early.
So 2 out. And top of the order, and Kylie Gauthier. First pitch from Duffy, swing and a foul ball. Got Adriana Barnes there in the catcher's mask. No balls and a strike. Gauthier is 0 for 2 with a walk. So again, a runner on first here for Woodbridge, and Barnes able to chuckle, so obviously all right. No balls and a strike on Gauthier. 8-4 Lady Raiders here in the top of the 6th. And Duffy with her pitch. In there for a called strike. Looked like it hit the outside corner, 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. And again, Gauthier, one of the more experienced hitters for Woodbridge. As Duffy with the 0-2. Swing and a fly ball out to left center field. Isaac going over. It'll drop in for a hit. Stopping at second is McCarthy. So Woodbridge keeps the inning alive on a single from Gauthier. So first and second, 2 out. And Miranda Carroll up. You sound like you want to say something.
No, I mean, I think 0-2 there. You just kind of throw something outside, high in the zone, let her go fishing for it rather than miss the location.
That is the 5th hit for Woodbridge. As first pitch, fastball misses low to Carroll for ball 1. Carroll is 0 for 3, reached on an error. The drop pop-up behind in front of the plate, her last time up. So first and second for Woodbridge. And Duffy with her pitch. That one on the outside corner for a called strike. And it's 1-1. So 1 ball and a strike. Here in the top of the 6th inning. 8-4 North Brunswick. As Duffy with her next pitch. On the outside corner. Count at 1-2. I hear a couple of moans from the Woodbridge faithful. Not happy with that one. 1-2. Runners on first and second. Duffy leans back. Her 1-2 pitch. Swing and a pop-up in the infield. Tara Jennings there. Makes the catch. Side retired. And so Duffy able to minimize the damage on the 2-run homer from Casey Morrison, her 2nd of the day. For Woodbridge, 2 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 2 left. So middle of the 6th, North Brunswick 8, Woodbridge 4. We will take our break and come back to Community Park in a moment with Lady Raiders Softball on the King James Radio Network. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning, and the Lady Raiders will try to tack on here if they can. It's 8-4, Woodbridge leading here in the 1st annual Autism Awareness Softball Challenge. So for North Brunswick, it will be 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order. Allison Ward, Kayla Shear, and Adriana Barnes are due up. And so if the Lady Raiders do want to add some more runs here, this would be the part of the order to do it. Ward is 0 for 2 with a walk. She grounded out to right field her first time up. I tell you, Coach, a couple of years ago, Woodbridge, it was against Woodbridge. Brooke Tominski was the right fielder for Woodbridge. and she had 3 9-3 putouts in that game. I hadn't seen anything like it. And so it wouldn't be the first time, if it happened again. But, obviously in softball, very a little bit different from baseball. In baseball, you don't see a lot of 9-3s. So Amelia Kraft is back out. And your pitch misses up high, ball 1.
Sadly, in baseball, I've seen 7 3-outs. So
really,
yeah, those are rough.
Left field, the first pitch.
Absolutely.
Your next pitch, Ward lays off. It's outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. If I didn't mention earlier, Gia Dominguez is now in right field for Woodbridge. And your 2-0. Ward puts it down in front of the circle. Kraft off their fields, throws to first. In time, 1 out. So Ward obviously looking for a base hit there. So score it 1-3, 1 out. And now Kayla Shear. Shear 2 for 3, 2 singles, including her last time up. Shear, you haven't really seen the power yet from Kayla. She's hit some balls hard, but mostly line drives and hard grounders. And your pitch, breaking ball drops in for a called strike, 0-1. So no balls and a strike. And Kraft with her pitch, swinging a ground ball, going into right center field. That's her base hit. Number 3 on the day for Shear. Career hit number 81. So Shear on first, and Adriana Barnes at the plate. Barnes is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Adriana, a right-handed batter. And your pitch misses high, ball 1. Shear has been known to steal a base or 2, so keep an eye on that. Who says catchers can't run? 1 ball and no strikes. And Kraft with her pitch, grounder, foul, third base side. And now 1-1.
She got to stay back. She thinks she's getting a little bit eager up there.
And she's throwing some at different speeds there. So ball and a strike. And Kraft with her pitch. It's a grounder over to third, picked up by Cush, but throws to second for the force on Shear. Good slide there by Shear. So Barnes reaches on a fielder's choice. 2 out in the inning. And that'll bring up Mia Santiago. Santiago is 3 for 3 with 3 singles and 2 runs scored. Mia, right-handed batter. And your pitch misses up high, ball 1. Ball and no strikes. And your next pitch, that one at the knees for a called strike, count at 1-1. It'll be interesting to see going forward. Now the Lady Raiders, their next game, let me see here, their next game is against Colonia on Monday. Is your next pitch, misses low. 2 balls and a strike on Santiago. It'll be interesting to see if Mary Rossi, assuming that Lauren Duffy finishes this game, if Mary Rossi stays with her on Monday. Your pitch is at the belt for a called strike. So 2-2 on Santiago. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And the 2-2. This is high, ball 3. So Santiago has worked a count full here to 3-2. Adriana Barnes on first. 8-4 North Brunswick here in the bottom of the 6th. And Kraft with the 3-2, and it's a high fly ball out to center field, but it'll stay in as Amaya Lewis makes the catch. Side retired. So North Brunswick gets 2 on. 1 was cut off on the force, but for North Brunswick, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. So 3 more outs to get as we go to the 7th. North Brunswick 8, Woodbridge 4. We'll come back on the King James Radio Network. 3 more outs here for Lauren Duffy as we go to the top of the 7th inning. North Brunswick 8, Woodbridge 4 in the first annual Autism Awareness Softball Challenge. 3, 4, and 5 in the batting order here As first pitch from Lauren Duffy misses up high for ball 1 to Amelia Kraft. Again, Kraft re-entered the game. Faith Perkins hit in her spot last time up and grounded out to second, but Kraft is 0 for 2. Right-handed batter. Duffy with her pitch. Pop foul right side, out of play, heading into a crowd of people over there.
Ooh.
Whoa, right on the
Ooh.
table there. There's about 5-6 people over there, and it hit right in the table in between everybody. So nobody got hurt. Some food might be destroyed, but nobody got hurt at least. Ball and a strike. Again, Corbett Thompson, Sean Morrell here at the table. As your pitch from Duffy misses outside. 2 balls and a strike on Kraft. Is there a chance that Duffy kind of overdoes it, trying to get the last 3 outs?
I think it's always possible. I mean, you just want to stay comfortable, throw strikes, and make sure your fielders make the plays for you.
2-1 is on the outside corner for a called strike. 2-2. In my experience, the last 3 outs are always the hardest to get.
Yeah, they can be tense. I mean, they've had some runners on, a couple home runs. But if you take those home runs away, it's been a good day for North Brunswick here.
As Duffy with the 2-2. Swing and a miss for
Here you
strike
go.
3 on a low fastball from Duffy for the first out. Strikeout number 6 for Lauren Duffy. 1 out. And Emily Kolaric will come up. Kolaric is 0 for 2, reached on an error and popped out to second. She's also walked. So Kolaric, a right-handed batter. Yeah, other than Morrison, Duffy has kept the big hitters for Woodbridge, in check. Your pitch popped up, coming this way, and drops to our right. No balls and a strike.
Not a very enthusiastic effort over there to make that play.
Well, nobody has a glove on over there, so I don't think you're going to see, So the count at 0-1. And your next pitch, pop foul to the backstop. So Duffy ahead 0-2 on Kolaric. No balls and 2 strikes.
Like to see on the outside corner of this pitch. He's been calling the outside corner all day.
And Duffy's 0-2.
Spot.
Just missed outside. 1-2. I believe this is Middlesex behind us here.
Yes, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they're waiting patiently.
Yes,
Yeah,
waiting patiently. As they get ready to take on Irvington in the next game here. As the 1-2. Swinging a fly ball to left field and deep. Going back on it is Speed, and it's off the fence. Speed will try to pick it up. Kolaric is at second with a double. That one did not miss, leaving by much.
No, but you saw she was on those pitches, She fouled that one straight back. 2 of them she was on, so you kind of want to give her something away.
So Kolaric at second for Woodbridge. And Gia Dominguez up. And fastball at the knees for a called strike, 0-1. Dominguez, in her first appearance, struck out swinging. And again, hitting in the spot of pitcher Emily Christie. As Duffy with her pitch, swing and a miss.
There you go.
Counted 0-2.
You can see this batter is out in front. She pulls out on those. Can't catch up to the fastball, so I think that's a good pitch here.
Duffy leans back, and now the 0-2 pitch. Hit in the air, out to right field, but right at Veronica Giraldo. She makes the catch.
Oh.
Tagging from second is Kolaric. The throw to third,
Good
slide, and a safe. So Kolaric reaches third. But there are 2 outs, which means the Lady Barrons are down to their last out. And guess who's up? Casey Morrison. Actually, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Madison Kushba is up. Morrison's on deck. Kushba walked her last time up. She's 1 for 2. And first pitch from Duffy. Line drive, fair ball down the left field line. That's going to bring up Morrison. And so Kolaric scores. Kushba will head into second with an RBI double. It's 8-5 North Brunswick. And that will bring Casey Morrison to the plate. First pitch, belt high from Duffy. And just a line drive down the left field line. Mary Rossi will head out to the circle here. She hasn't crossed the first base line yet. And now she does, so that'll be an official visit.
I think she's concerned about her outfielder.
So running out to left field. So then this wouldn't be an official charge visit. She's out to check on Cassidy Speed. Might have injured herself. So, in the meantime, give Kushba a double and an RBI, bringing home Kalarick. And we'll see so Coach Rossi's seeing the speed is okay, and now we'll talk to, she'll go ahead and head back to the dugout. So I'm assuming then no charged visit.
Right. Just checking on a player injury in the outfield.
I didn't see quite what happened to
She
Catherine.
tripped. She went up against the fence, and she tripped on the warning track and fell into the fence.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what allowed that runner to get to second.
Mary Rossi puts up the 4 fingers and is going to walk Morrison.
Interesting.
So the intentional walk to Morrison puts the tying run at the plate.
Yeah.
Caitlin McCarthy will come up.
You do have a force at any base at this point, but you do put the tying run.
McCarthy up, and Duffy's pitch swung on and fouled back. 0-1. So like you said, interesting there. McCarthy reached on an error her last time up. She's 0 for 3. This is the number 8 hitter in the Woodbridge order, batting left-handed against Duffy. So Duffy trying to hang on here. 8-5 North Brunswick, last of the 7th. And Duffy's pitch. Fastball misses outside.
Good pitch.
Barnes trying to hold it there, but ball and a strike. Cushblad at second, Morrison at first. Duffy's next pitch. Swing and a miss. That's strike 2. Woodbridge down to their final strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Caitlin McCarthy. First and second for Woodbridge, 8-5 Lady Raiders. Lauren Duffy with her pitch. Swinging a ground ball, slow roller to short. Tara Jennings Fields throws to first. Not in time, beats it out. And the bases are loaded. So an infield hit from McCarthy loads the bases. And Elena Montalvo will come up, the number 9 hitter for Woodbridge. Montalvo was 1 for 3. She has singled, struck out, and flied out to right. So the tying runs are on base. And Duffy winds on her pitch. Misses the outside corner for ball 1. So Lauren Duffy trying to hang on. Mary Rossi is stuck with her. You have Tara Jennings in the fold if you need her, but she's staying with Duffy. Your next pitch, grounder, going over to third base. Sydney Hobson throws to first in time, and this game is over. And the North Brunswick Lady Raiders, for the first time this season, they win back-to-back games. They go to 4-2 as they defeat the Woodbridge Barrons 8-5 here in the first annual Autism Awareness Softball Challenge here at North Brunswick Community Park. The keynote address was a grand slam from Cassidy Speed as part of a 7-run 4th inning for North Brunswick. And they hold on from there. Woodbridge drops to 5-2. Lady Raiders improved to 4-2. And thus, North Brunswick coach, they hang on for the win. And obviously Lauren Duffy showing some mental toughness there.
Absolutely. Great job. Great job holding it together.
Yep. And so with that, we will take a break, and we will come back with our Raiders Live post game presented by the Cal Team of Rematch Country. Let me turn that off. So thank you, Coach. I appreciate it. Yep. And so Sean Morrell sticking with us on scoreboard and commentary, multitasking today. So we'll break, and we'll come back with our Raiders Live post game in a moment. This is Lady Raiders Softball on the King James Radio Network.
This broadcast is a production of the King James Radio Network, which is solely intended for the private use of its listening audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this audio transmission without the written permission or consent from the King James Radio Network is strictly prohibited.
Listeners of the King James Radio Network can visit the King James Radio Network shop at jamesisking.com and get $10 off of your purchase with no expiration dates and no limits. Right at the top of the homepage is the My Locker icon. Click and customize your own KJRN gear from there, then use the code listed on the website for your discount. Sweaters, t-shirts, hats, bags, and all kinds of apparel to give you the look of a top-notch team or a top-notch individual. Thank you for checking out the KJRN shop at My Locker, only at jamesisking.com.
Check out the King James Radio Network on social media by giving us a follow on Facebook. And we're also on Twitter at King James Radio 1.
We come back now to our Raiders Live postgame presented by the Cal team at Remax Country over on 40 South Main Street in Milltown, New Jersey. Make sure you give those guys either a ring or either you can go by their website at thecalteam.com. That's THECALTEAM, thecalteam.com. And, final score here. As the Lady Raiders get their 4th win of the season, they win it by a score of 8-5 over the Lady Barrons of Woodbridge. And so my first of my 2 guests will join us here at the table. The Lady of the Hour, Cassidy Speed, sits to my right. I'll have her flip that on there and adjust her microphone to her leisure. And we'll talk to Cass here for a moment. So let's see. Cassidy Speed on the day here. Let's see. 1 for 3, hit a grand slam. And drove in 4, and all right. So grand slam in the 4th inning. What was the pitch that you were looking for in that at bat, and what was the pitch that you got?
Well, she was the new pitcher coming into the inning, so I was the first at bat for the new inning with the new pitcher. So I was just looking for a ball to hit. I saw the first one down the middle, and I just took it straight down the middle and out.
Yeah, right out to center field, and. How much of a lift, did that give you guys, just going into the 5th inning, you score 7 runs in the 4th there. How much energy did that give you guys going into the next inning?
Oh my goodness, tremendously. All the girls were just saying how they had a headache after screaming so much because not only have I been having struggle with batting, it's just an uplift for the team just to see okay, now we got something to keep us going, to keep the game going. So it all gave us the confidence to get hits back to back.
And, you come back, you follow up the win over Perth Amboy with this one, so it's your first winning streak here. How important is that just to string together a couple of wins?
It's very important. We're gonna try our hardest to keep stringing the wins together and hope for the best.
You got Colonia next. So you go over there to their place. What do you guys want to work on defensively? I know defensively, the team has struggled a little bit defensively. What do you guys want to work on defensively before you get to Colonia?
Definitely limit the errors. We have a habit of one person making the error, maybe the next person might make an error, so we definitely want to limit that. We usually have 1 bad inning, so as long as we can limit the errors and pick each other up, I think we'll be good.
What happened there on the play where I guess you kind of got injured there in front of the fence there? What happened there?
There's the little pebbles around, so I was running back and I drop step too hard to the fence, so my right leg just slipped backwards and I already had bad knees, so I just went down on the knee and
oh, that was
try to get back up as quick as possible.
Oh well, good thing you're all right. And you know what? I think I said during the game, it's genius of Mary Rossi to put you in, at the bottom of the order, to have somebody there that's not an automatic out, that can give you guys some production, that can give you guys some runs. When she first told you that you were hitting at the bottom, were you surprised? Did you not quite understand at the time?
I wasn't really surprised necessarily because I feel like we all have our strengths and weaknesses. So being put at the bottom, I also saw her point of view, definitely you still have the not automatic out, so I could go really an out or hit. So it definitely gives us the boost of, okay, we know at the bottom of the order we still have our bats to come around and someone could do something with the ball.
Well, you certainly did that with the grand slam. Lauren, she, obviously, Woodbridge didn't go down quietly, but Lauren, holds on for the win. What did you see from Lauren out there?
Oh, definitely. She stuck together and she kept her head in the game, and definitely having the field behind her and all of us coming together, she was really good today. So.
And off to a good start so far at 4-2. Do you guys, put a lot of expectations on yourselves? There's a lot of expectations from people outside of the dugout and outside of the locker room of what you guys should be. But, as far as you guys in the dugout, do you put a lot of high expectations on yourselves?
Oh, definitely. All of us, we could get out of the box. We could make an error in the field, and automatically we call it the 30-second rule because we all know we get in our head because we have such high expectations for this year. We all think that we definitely have a strong group of girls, so we really think that we're going to go far in the season, and hopefully that will proceed to show. but definitely we all have our high expectations. But we all pick each other up at the end of the day, so I think it's all good.
Yep. And again, talking with Cassidy Speed about the Lady Raiders' 8-5 win over Woodbridge here in North Brunswick, now 4-2. A couple more here for Cass. Senior year. So, is it a different mindset now being a senior?
It's kind of sad knowing that it's coming to an end. I mean, I have options of playing in college, so I may look into that. But as of right now, senior year, I'm just really hoping to bring up the batting average, limit my errors. But it's really sad to see it all coming to an end. It's so unbelievable.
Do you have a favorite moment so far?
Definitely that grand slam.
Oh, all right.
I was not expecting that at all. I've been really struggling. So there's different things I know I'm doing wrong. So hitting that just boosted my confidence so high through the roof. So I just feel really amazed the fact that I still have my bat to come alive.
Good to hear. And what was the most difficult thing? You've been here 4 years now. What's been the most difficult thing to try to master? Like something that maybe you struggled with as a freshman that you at least have a grasp of now.
Definitely being a utility player, knowing the different throws, different plays of going to different positions. Because my freshman year, I was all over. I was at short, I was at second, I was in the outfield. So I know from freshman year, I used to throw sidearm, so I corrected my arm, and then throwing the distance-wise, I threw at second, I almost had so many overthrows. So definitely, just knowing all the plays and my abilities of reading the balls at different spots.
And a quick volleyball question. I know the volleyball team. The one loss record is not where you guys want it to be, but what was it like playing volleyball?
Playing volleyball is my last year. It was just a season to remember. It was a season to remember, definitely. Playing with the girls for our last season, I actually want to continue to play in college, but obviously, the competitiveness is really high. So playing for just, 3 years and not my freshman year is definitely, fulfilling knowing that I was, the all-division player. So that was a great way to end the season, but we definitely had higher expectations for that, but it was still fun at the end of the day.
Any different? I mean, you played here before, middle school coming up and everything. Any difference in playing here as opposed to the high school?
It just feels at home, to be honest. We went to batting cages before the game, and I just feel like I was back at home, back at my younger self, because I grew up playing here since I was 5, so it definitely felt really at home.
Cassidy Speed again, with the big grand slam there for North Brunswick, and part of a 7-run fourth inning as the Lady Raiders beat Woodbridge 8-5 here in the first ever Autism Awareness Softball Challenge. I promise this is my last question, but the autism awareness part of it, how much were you thinking about that as you played today?
We had one of the autistic girls from our school come out, and definitely it was a big win for not only us, but to show her, because she also said she wants to play next year. It shows, just the surrounding aspect of we all care about, who's in our school and everything, and we all have, great, heart towards them because they are a part of our school, so we do love them as our own friends.
Absolutely. So if you could find Miss Duffy for me, I'd appreciate it. And thanks for coming by. Congratulations and good luck, all right?
Well, thank you.
Say hi to Tara, all right?
Okay.
All right. Tara is my receptionist over at Route 1 Dental. And so that's Cassidy Speed. Again, big grand slam for the Lady Raiders as they win it. And now starting pitcher Lauren Duffy will sit in with us. He got the game ball, I see. Yes, very good. So I'll have her flip the headset on. And, you and I were talking before the game about, when you make that one bad pitch to, forget it. Cass was here. She talked about the 30-second rule that you guys have. So just elaborate a little bit for me on that, the 30-second rule.
The 30-second rule, basically Rossi explained to us that, in softball, we all know it's a losing game. You're going to lose more than you win. Batting-wise, pitching-wise, fielding-wise. And, of course, you're going to get down on yourself, but she really, said, look, if you're going to get down, just make it for 30 seconds and then pick your head right back up, get right back into the game, and don't make another error because it's so easy to get down and stay down, but we want to stay up.
Oh, absolutely. As the next game is about to start here, Irvington and Middlesex, the final game here in the Autism Awareness Softball Challenge. After the second home run to Morrison, who's their number 7 hitter, was it just kind of okay, how do I get her out?
Yeah.
Yeah. and she's a lefty too. So did that make a difference for you or no?
Well, I mean, lefties are honestly, for me at least, kind of harder to pitch to. Because I'm a very, I like to pitch outside. So, like, my outside pitches are the best. But on a lefty, my outside pitches are all inside. And usually I'm pretty good with just getting in there and not, like, because I don't really care if I hit them. Because I usually don't. But, like, that doesn't really faze me.
Yeah.
But for some reason, every time I tried to go in or even out, they all just, like, went right down the middle on her. So,
when I got you. When Coach told you that you were pitching today, now you had a good game against Perth Amboy. You know, you had the 8 strikeouts. Did you just want to continue what you did there, or was it just totally reset?
It was totally reset because Perth Amboy, we kind of knew going to that game that it was going to be a little easier because I know a lot of those girls don't play like travel and club, and I knew Woodbridge definitely had more like experienced players and it would be a harder team to play against. So I really tried to make sure that, like, especially while warming up, that all my pitches were spinning, that I was doing good, I was in like a good mindset, and I was ready to go.
What did you feel like your best pitch was?
My palm down curve was working really well today. That was definitely
because you seem like you got a couple of strikeouts where you went higher on them. You kind of went up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so is that something that you want to sprinkle in every now and then?
Yeah, rise ball.
Yeah.
Carlucci actually taught me a new grip for it, and it's been working really well. I just want to try to work more on keeping it a little lower so it's not going so far up.
Assistant coach Crystal Carlucci, who unfortunately was not here today, under the weather, so get better, coach. Now you guys are 4-2, so now you guys, have a couple of wins under your belt as you head to Colonia on Monday. I was talking with Cassidy about, defensively, how do you guys, you talked about, forgetting the errors, but, how do you cut down on them and give yourselves a better chance?
Well, I mean, in practice, we do a lot of, like, defense work, more than hitting, like, 100%. We do so much defense. And we actually, because a lot of people don't play full year round or they're in new positions. So we kind of just have, like, a whole mindset on, like, just keep on, like, practicing, try to make yourself better. Because it's still the beginning of the season. So, like, we want everyone to just keep on working hard and harder.
Yep. Boy, a couple of hit batters already here in this game. So be thankful that you didn't hit anybody. Control-wise, you felt good with your control?
I mean, I was definitely a little more wild than I would like to be today. That's something I want to work on. Trying to stay more in the zone.
Yep. A couple more here for starting pitcher Lauren Duffy, again, the second win of the year. Now, this is your first year you've had 2 wins.
Yeah.
So you're climbing the
ladder.
ladder.
I'm actually nice being able to pitch.
Yes. So you enjoy the pitching part of it. So you want to be out there then.
Yeah.
Yep. And so obviously, as long as you're pitching well. Now, has Coach told you, has she told you that, you're going to pitch some and Tara's going to pitch some? Is that kind of how it is?
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do is not, like, entirely make it even, but, like, just see, like, start with someone, see how they're doing. If they need help, put the other one in, like, switch it around, like, kind of just that. Because me and Tara are both pretty, like, we're really good pitchers. And it's nice not having to have, like, one person pitch every single game. So that's what she told us.
Okay. Which means it's subject to change.
Yeah.
You ever get to a point where you're pitching either this year or last year? You ever get to a point where you're pitching and you're in trouble and you're kind of looking over your shoulder like, okay, I think Tara might.
Oh no!
Whoa! Look out! Watch out! Whoa! Just that close! That close!
I was gonna try to jump over that.
Whoa!
Boy.
God was on my side.
That's a first.
Oh.
That's a first for our post-game interview. So it was a foul ball coming this way, and almost landed right in the chair that Lauren's sitting in here. So we'll give Lauren a minute to catch her breath and get her composure back before I ask her the final couple of questions. I lost my train of thought now. I remember now. What I was asking you was, do you ever reach a point where you're looking over, your shoulder or looking in the dugout at coach and you realize, okay, I think, Tara might be coming in here?
Yeah, actually, Rossi, told me even today, she was like, just look at me, give me the look. If at any time like your arm gets tired or you feel like you're not doing your best and you want to put Tara in.
Yep.
That's what she told me today.
Okay. All right. And just for I might be able to knock one down. I'm certainly not catching it. I've learned the hard way when you guys play at the high school that I'm probably not catching anything. My last question for Lauren Duffy is this, and then I'll let her go before anything else weird happens. It's a junior year, and so do you feel like this is just the beginning for you, pitching wise? That I haven't even talked about you at the plate yet. How do you feel at the plate?
I struck out, unfortunately, but then I walked, and I think I had a decent hit. I think it was okay. I want to strive to do better, less obviously not strike out.
Yeah, you went 1 for 2 with a walk. But pitching wise, do you feel like this is just the beginning for you? That things are going to continue to improve from here, and that you'll get better and better and that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it's nice because I'm actually getting more of a chance to pitch varsity, because the past 2 years I didn't really get to pitch as much, and now that I think I've gotten better and hopefully I keep on continuing to get better, I'll be able to pitch more. And yeah.
Now, so you played the outfield. You played I think you played second base in the past. So, but being in the circle is where you want to be.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Lauren Duffy again gets the win for the Lady Raiders over Woodbridge here. And so, before any other foul balls come this way, I'll let you go. So, thank you for coming by. Congratulations. All right, and
thank you.
Good luck against Colonia. All right.
Thank you.
You got it. So you can put that there. And so Lauren Duffy. It's a good thing this is radio and not video. Otherwise, we'd have an Instagram moment right here. Yeah, don't forget your game ball. I thought that was the game ball. Okay, all right. You're welcome. Yeah, all right. So Lauren Duffy. Well, they need Lauren for Monday, so we'll let her go as the Lady Raiders win it by a score of 8-5. Let's do the final totals. For North Brunswick, 8 runs on 10 hits and 3 errors. They left 5 on base. For Woodbridge, 5 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors. They left 9. And so your winning pitcher is Lauren Duffy. She is now 2-0. And Emily Christie gets the loss. She is 5-2. And so the Lady Raiders will move on to Monday. They will go to Colonia on Monday to look for their 3rd straight win. And the next time we will see the Lady Raiders will be not this next week coming up, I don't think. Their next home game is April 22nd. They're at home against Carteret back at the high school at Raiders Field. So that is probably the next time we will see the softball team. That's 9 days from now. So that's a week from Monday. Will be the next time we see the softball team. Hopefully, Lauren can stay out of dodge of any foul balls, and hopefully, Cassidy Speed can, hit a couple more home runs, between now and then. But that will be our next softball broadcast. It will be April 22nd against Carteret at 4 p.m. on a Monday, and Raiders Live pregame presented by the Cal team at Remax Country will be at 3:45. And so, my thanks to Lauren Duffy for stopping by. My thanks also to Cassidy Speed for coming by as well. Cass was a little bit luckier in terms of the foul balls. So with that, until our next broadcast will be tomorrow night with the baseball team. We will be back here over at field number 1, presumably at North Brunswick Community Park, as the baseball team will take on Hillsborough, weather permitting. Rain is in the forecast for tomorrow. And so we will be with you tomorrow from Woodbridge at 7 p.m., the Sunday night game. And Raiders Live pregame, presented by the Cal team at Remax Country, will be at 6:45. So until tomorrow night, this is Corbett Thompson saying goodbye, Godspeed, from field number 5 at North Brunswick Community Park in North Brunswick, New Jersey, where your final score here, North Brunswick 8, Woodbridge 5. We'll talk to you on Monday, or tomorrow night rather. Until then, you folks, have a good night.